Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Katie STASZAK. We're about to end a fantastic week of racing here. We've got a couple of really nice carryovers, Katie, to talk about. We got the Rainbow Six. We got an 11 race card today. Starts in race number 6, $51,000 plus in that carryover pool. And for you super high five players in the last race today, $10,010. That thing is going to skyrocket. If you're not aware of that wager, it's you pick the first 5 finishers in the race for $1 wager. Hi, Katie.
Hey, Ron. Ready for today?
I'm ready for today. Let's go see what's tweeting around the country before we delve into this Sunday card. The first one we want to look at is a horse, Kiss to Remember.
Well, this is a King Pauline we're going to chat about. She also ran here at Gulfstream during the winter before she went on to win the Black-Eyed Susan at our sister track at Pimlico. She is going to be running in the Coaching Club American Oaks today at Saratoga, another big race there. And of course, Dale Romans, he runs all his horses here in the winter. We want to wish all of them luck, and that's another horse that we've seen become a product of many Stronach tracks and going on to do good things.
Yeah, this horse really was impressive winning the Black-Eyed Susan. The horse that I wanted to talk about now had my tweets mixed up. Now we're going to talk about Kiss to Remember.
Well, Kiss to Remember was pretty impressive here yesterday. She was a dominant winner of the Monroe Handicap for trainer Marty Wolfson. It was just her second start for the Wolfson Barn, her first stakes win for him, but the third stakes win of her career. There she is. This is an older photo of her. From the breeders, this barn that has Big Brown, her sire, so obviously sharing the love for her, and looks like she's going to be a nice one.
Yeah, she looked really nice winning that yesterday. She was stretching out from a sprint to that 1 mile and did a very, very good job. And then we have a real special person that works with us here, and that is Abby, and Abby Fuller, who rode Mom's Command to the Philly Triple Crown years ago.
We are so lucky to have Abby Fuller here. She's an ambassador for racing here at Gulfstream, such a wonderful person, and I love chatting with her and hearing her stories. This was a fantastic piece written in the DRF about Abby when she was riding Mom's Command and they swept the Philly Triple Crown. An amazing story. You must read it, and again, you'll read that and say, wow, how lucky are we to have this person here.
Yeah, owned by her dad, Mom's Command, so it was a lot of fun. I remember it way before your time, but I remember it, and it was great. What a great horse that was. She just kept winning. Everybody thought she wasn't, and she was just a tough, tough horse. So congratulations to Abby, and lots of fun. Read that story in the Daily Race Form. Now we're going to get into Sunday's card. We got 11 races, so we're going to rock it through it, and as we mentioned, we got a couple of really nice carryovers. Race number 1 is a 1 mile turf event. Claimers, fillies, mares, 3-year-olds and upward on the turf. They haven't won on the turf since January 26th. With my math, that is 6 months ago. Scratch the 3, scratch the main track only is 11 and 12. The jockey on the 9 is Manny Aguilar. Once again, I didn't say it at the top of the show, but the main track is starting today. Listed as good. The turf course is firm. Certainly can use some water. Looked good yesterday, even though we were getting some showers. I'm talking about the turf course. So I'm going to go back and show you the horse I had on top of my ticket, and Katie does too, and that's number 10, Hero Wisdom.
I ended up scratching into this horse, but he did run very well, considering he had quite a bit of trouble last time out. He's going to come from off the pace, and obviously, you know, you run into some trouble when you're coming from off the pace. You need some racing luck, but I thought this horse made a really nice late bid. He's going to get up for 5th, but he's only beaten a length and a half. A lot of horses coming here late at the wire. I think this is a horse that was at, you know, the $10,000 level in open company. I think this is a horse that should appreciate the class relief.
Yeah, he was right on my top of my ticket, and this morning when I came in, I looked, everybody had picked a 3-horse who ended up scratching. I didn't even have the 3-horse on my ticket, so I don't know if I lucked out or I'm really smart. We'll see how that happens today. Number 7 is the horse I have in second, Fair Shake, making her career turf debut at a mile after hitting the board against multiple winners in a trio of recent 6,250 claimers, albeit on the main track. I think she finds a perfect spot to give the turf a try. We mentioned the conditions of this race. We had a couple of them yesterday. It's the non-winners of a turf race in 6 months. So horses come into this race, and it's a spot where it gives them a chance to try the turf and not be outmatched or overmatched.
Yes, a lot of horses coming from different backgrounds in terms of their turf experience. Some Some haven't run on it. Some haven't run on it in a while. So like you said, it is a very good opportunity for them to be competitive on the turf and see how they fare over that. I also had the 7 Fair Shake on my ticket, but I also used the 6 Holy Day from the Carlo Vaccarezza barn. Last time out, he was 8th, but only beaten 3 lengths. Another who I thought should really move forward when running with condition claimers this time around, and I love that Tyler Gaffleone's going to be aboard this one. But you have another option in there, and that's 5 and 9.
Yeah, that's the one that's going to be ridden by Manny Aguilar today, and this one is stretching out to mile, making a 3-wide bid. Flattened out in that race, got beat about 6 lengths, but it was a key $8,000 condition claimer that produced a pair of next out winner, including a repeat winner called Defying Gravity. So I figured I'd go with the key race angle, a wide open affair there in race number 1 with that non-winners of a turf race in 6 months. Go right to race number 2. 1 mile claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. As we mentioned, the main track listed as good, and we want to go back. Well, there's no scratches in here or jockey changes. We're going to go back and show you the horse we both have on top of our ticket, and that is Mischievous Charlie from a race back on July 12th.
Yeah, this is a race at this level. We're going to take a look at the 5 here at Mischievous Charlie, and he kind of leans in here at the start. You're going to see gets into a bit of trouble there. Definitely costs him and makes him spot the field several lengths in this race. Just like the last race we saw, here's another horse coming from off the pace, and this was during a time where the track really wasn't exactly favoring those types of runners. He closes well enough to get up for second, was not going to catch the winner this particular day, a runaway winner there from the 1, but I thought he made a nice runner considering how the race started for him, and I think he also should appreciate the extra distance today.
Extra distance, you saw when we were showing that video, he was the odds-on choice near 4 to 5, so 90 cents to the dollar that day, and it's sort of you know, when you break like that and get in that kind of trouble, even if it looks like he might have leaned over and caused it, he still had a right to ship and get it done, so he ran well in there. Both of us have that one on the ticket. I went with the 4 Drifter's Escape in second, dropping to this $10,000 level on the dirt after failing to show much, but I thought it was against better in a pair on the lawn. The trainer is Milt Wilson, and he's got Tyler Gaffleone handling his surface switch, so I'm just going with the old turf to dirt angle here with number 4, Drifter's Escape on the board, actually as the second choice at 7 to 2.
Yeah, that one definitely has a shot in here. Another one that I think is live is the 2 Spiritual Leader. This one certainly has plenty of experience at the mile distance. A 2nd and 5/3 from 9 starts going a mile, so knows how to do it. Last time out, finished 5th behind Mischievous Charlie. Also got bumped at the start, probably because of Mischievous Charlie in that race. But the only concern I had was that she's already started 16 times. 4 times at this level with just a runner-up finish to her credit. Thinks she's run well, but couldn't put her on top.
Yeah, and I just threw the 5 on the bottom. He was 90 to 1 last time out, and she was 90 to 1 last time out. And she's 15 to 1. I thought maybe she can grab a little share in there, but looks like we have a logical contender on top there after that bad start last time out. Race number 3, 6 furlongs claimers, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3 races in life or 3-year-olds, and we'll have 7 runners in this race with no scratches or jockey changes. And we both have number 5, Gone As Win, who is the morning line favorite.
For good reason, I think. This one from the Efren Loza Jr. barn, going to cut his tag in half today. Finished 7th against $25,000 claimers on the grass last time out. This is a former stakes runner, certainly has a class edge against this group. Should be happy to return to his preferred surface on the main track. And in his 2 previous starts, he posted 2/3 at the $30,000 level, plus getting blinkers added. You know,
when I was handicapping this race, I just kept going back to this horse that you have in 3rd and I have in 2nd. That's Roland the Navajo. This will move to the Dave Rakoff Monvia, the claim after drawing away at 6.5 furlongs to defeat $6,250 condition claimers. Won that race by like more than 5 lengths. A 3-time winner, has the rail and the tactical speed needed to use this horse to his advantage. I almost came to put this horse on top. I don't know, I just kept going back to it, but Gone As Wind, as you mentioned, looks like the logical choice, but I would not leave the 1 Roll on the Navajo off your ticket.
I agree. I think the 3 horses that we have here, we have the same horse on top, then we have, you know, the flip-flop, but I could see any of the 3 winning this race. I think they're all very tightly bunched. That includes the 3 Deer Dog from the Sandra Cataldi barn. Going to return to this level after finishing 2nd against $20,000 claimers on June 26th. 2 starts back, the colt did run at this level, and he was a 5 3/4 length winner.
Yeah, and he's a 3-time winner in there because he fits the conditions of, now what is a 3 or 3-year-old. So he looks like a logical contender in there. So I think you're right, Katie. We got the top 3, or the logical 3. Now, what order? I don't know. We'll see how that works out in race number 3. 4th race, we're going back to the turf course, and you see on your board it's listed as firm 7.5 furlongs, maiden claimers, fillies and mares, 3 and up, $12,500. No scratches in the race. We got a full field of 10 runners in here, and we have our top selections flip-flop. I'll let you start with the number 9. You talking to me?
You all talking to me. This one, I think just making second start back from a layoff is going to be the key. At least it was with my handicapping angle with this horse from the Safi Joseph Jr. barn. She took a big step forward when cutting her tag in half and dropping to this level last time out. She was facing older horses for the first time, and she was a gaining second, only beaten 3/4 of a length, and again, coming off a layoff, hadn't raced in 4 months. So I think today she's going to be spot on, but I do have Lying Eyes in second and also one that figures.
Yeah, on the drop to the $12,500 level after opening that quick 4-length lead last time out before getting caught at the wire, was beaten about 3/4 of a length against $16,000 maidens at the distance. Just thought it was a nice race in there, and I can understand having you all talking to me on top of the ticket, so I think maybe an exacta box will go. We are different in our 3rd spot. I went with the 3 Royal Spaces, and this was a late striding type. We should be along. I just think this horse can close and get a part of the exacta trifecta. If you looked at some of the races yesterday on the main track, especially after we had a little bit of rain, horses were coming from off the pace, and they were running really, really well late. They didn't all win, but they showed that they can close ground.
They were running well. A lot of horses you saw coming right down the center of the track and really flying. We saw one from Harry Hernandez yesterday that just absolutely
Still don't know that
flew
one. Can't believe that one won.
So definitely, those are the kind of horses that you're going to want to watch today.
And you also have the 5 on there, Gold Celebrity.
She'll be running for a career low today and debuting for the Kathleen O'Connell barn. So I thought another that could maybe get a share.
Well, let's flip the page and go to the penultimate race before the Rainbow Six. 5 furlongs, maiden claimers, 2-year-olds. He's going to run for a $25,000 tag. Once again, a full field. We don't make it easy here at Gulfstream Park. No scratches or jockey changes to report. And every time we have a big field, it looks like Katie and I always have the same horse on top, and that is number 4, Bon Voyage.
Well, from the Wesley Ward barn, you don't have to say much more than that. Going to take a steep class drop after debuting in a maiden special weight here on July 5th. Was the favorite that day as well. This is a son of Sweet Return. His 2 half siblings were both multiple winners, and he continues to train sharply. He went 4 furlongs and 47 4 on July 19th. So maybe this race will get him back on track. Yeah,
and Wesley Ward, one of those guys, he puts them in a spot. If they don't look like they fit there, he drops them right down. He's not one that keeps it in the same condition all the time.
Not afraid.
So he's not afraid to drop him down for a tag for $25,000. But we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the number 10, Totally Evil, who's the son of Hear No Evil, debuting for Trainer Stanley Gold. And right away, your ears got to be twiggling there. He has a whopping 30% win average with his first-time starters. Working steadily for this assignment. You mentioned Harry Hernandez. He'll be handling that outside post today.
You cannot leave Stanley Gold out with 2-year-olds either. The only thing I don't really love is the far outside post, but I kept going back and forth with this horse because of he's debuting at the $25,000 level. You have to think if this horse was really showing something, he wouldn't be in this spot. But then I thought again, Stanley Gold and Jack So Better are so loaded with their 2-year-olds this year. They have such a crop, so they have this luxury, and I think he's going to run well.
Well, who'd you put in 3rd?
I put the 6 Turkey Ridge in 3rd. Again, seemingly we have the top 3 2-year-old trainers here right now. And Ralph Nix, he's had the hot hand with his debut runners as of late. He had another yesterday with Shaka Khan. He's winning at a 22% clip with his 2-year-olds. If there's any weakness whatsoever, he's 0 for 14 when they're debuting in maiden claimers, so that's why I couldn't put him higher. Well,
I used the number 9 Indiana Cowboy, who's never run on a fast track before. You see, one thing it says fast, but it was a sealed fast track, and it was a wet day that day. We had sealed it. It was listed as wet fast. He drops $10,000 on the claiming scale. He's going to stretch out to 5/8 after finishing 4th, as I mentioned, in the slop. That was against $35,000 maidens going 4.5 furlongs. Watch the skies and bet accordingly.
You've been warned.
Race number 6 is where the Rainbow Six starts today. We mentioned over $50,000 in the pool, 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf. Scratch the 11 and 12. Those were the also eligible entries. And we want to go back and show you the performance of a horse called Tap It Off, who finished second to a really nice horse called Cordero.
Yeah, we're going to take a look back at this race. I actually think this race here, race 6, is my favorite race today. A couple of nice horses in here, including this one, Tap It Off. You're going to see him here, makes a nice run. He's going to finish a clear-cut second, but this is to the Todd Pletcher-trained Cordero, who was a very nice colt, ran at Ascot in his debut, came over from Europe. It was so impressive this day, and I think coming back, he hasn't raced since. He's going to be fresh. Will he need a race? I don't know. That's why I put him in second, but 3 of his last 4 works have been bullets. Seems like he'll be sharp.
Yeah, I put him on top of the ticket, but with full disclosure, Cordero came back to run again up at Belmont and finished dead last, did not lift its feet in its next race. So Tap It Off was flattered by Cordero that day. But Cordero, I mean, I don't know the reasons behind that, did not run well in his start. But we got full disclosure here. Now, who did you put on top of your ticket?
I put Bill's Perfect Storm on top of the ticket. This is a horse, a son of Stormy Atlantic, who I thought just really showed promise in his turf debut. Dueled on the lead, was just caught at the wire to finish second, beaten 3/4 of a length. He's got the fitness edge as he's been running more recently than Tap It Off. And this is a former $300,000 yearling purchase. He's a half-brother to the Grade 1 winning turfer, Brilliant Speed. His pedigree screams turf, so now that he's on the surface, I think he's on the right track.
Never used him on my ticket. He's the 7-2 morning line favorite. Just didn't go that way, but we'll see what happens in there. 8, My High Roller, talking about big prices. This is a $650,000 son of Bernardini, and he's a half-brother to the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup juvenile winner, Stevie Wonderboy, stretching out today an additional 16th of a mile after rallying 4 wide to come within a length of winning at a mile. So I just thought this horse breeding ran well, and I just think he can be on the ticket, and I see you used him too.
Absolutely. He was just a neck behind Bill's Perfect Storm in that race, so I had to have him. But what about Highland Warrior?
Yeah, he's good. He's a well-meant second at this level and distance back on June 13th. Going to stretch out again after finishing 5th. Was the favorite that day against similar going a mile last time out. Antonio Sano lightens the impost today. He's got Harry Hernandez, 5-pound apprentice, as you know, riding in great form. Had 3 wins yesterday along with Tyler Gaffleone, who had 3 wins yesterday.
Absolutely. So how deep do you go here in this opening leg?
I think you got to go a little deeper, and I think we all have a horse. I mean, I'm not going to leave that 9 off my ticket there. I just did not pick him in my selections.
Right.
But you see, I think we got the logical 3 or 4 horses right there for the first leg of the Rainbow Six. When you see my ticket later, here's the race that had me scratching my head, and I went pretty deep in here. And the mile in the 16th, maiden claim is 3 and up. The $10,000, the claiming level, 10 runners in the field, no scratches. We both went with this horse, number 6. Who did you go with? 6 Drimmer too?
I did.
Yeah,
I went with
Drimmer
from the Rodolfo Garcia barn. Finished 6th on the grass last time out and going to return to the main track today. 2 starts back, he finished 3rd at this level when going a mile. Set the pace before just getting caught. He held on for 3rd. His best races have come on the main track, which is why I had to put him there. We'll see if he can go the distance.
Yeah, I ran 7 days ago. Coming back, another horse that I have in second is the number 5 Amphitryon, stretching out to a mile and 16. He rallied to finish and improved 3rd against similar opposition, going 6.5 furlongs just 7 days ago. So 2 horses in here. Who else did you use in this race?
I threw in the 7 4Zs. He finished 3rd at this level last time out, but not great at this distance. Has yet to hit the board in 4 starts going a mile and a 16th. But I don't think there are a whole lot of horses in here experienced at that distance. So we'll see if anyone's maybe able to get an uncontested lead, or it's going to be tough.
I think you go all in there if you can afford it on your ticket. If you can find a couple of singles somewhere along the line, it's a wide open affair. Let's go right to race number 8. 6 furlongs, maiden special weight, 2-year-olds, and we're going to have a scratch of the number 4 El Shadow and the also eligible number 15. I'm going to go back and show you the performance of Night Rhythm last time out. It was back on July 12th.
Yeah, I thought he ran really well. This was his career debut, facing a lot of runners. This was back on July 12th. He's going to chase the pace. This was his career debut. Chase the pace going 5 furlongs. Finishes 3rd, but only 3/4 of a length from second. The winner was a complete runaway, so you take that out. But I thought this was a very promising debut for him. Going to stretch out a little bit more, which I think is going to suit him. Maybe didn't love being pressured so much from the get-go, going that shorter distance, and working really well. Most recent work, 4 furlongs in 47-3. That was the bullet on July 21st.
Yeah, and it's Bill Kaplan. Enough said, I think, as far as that goes. I think this horse is going to move forward. Got him on top of my ticket, and we both used the 13 in second, and I'm thinking the reason I did because I said 13, and that is Union Val back against Maidens after chasing the pace. That beat only 3 lengths. That was in the 5.5 furlong Bird on the Wire Stakes last time out. Gerald Perchino, Edgar Prado, tough post.
Absolutely. I can't add any more than that. That's why I couldn't put him higher.
And I closed it with the 9 in it, Dreaming of Me, who's stretching out that additional furlong today. So a great race, but I'm expecting Bill Kaplan's horse to run really well in that spot. Race
too.
number 9 this afternoon, 5 furlongs on the turf, an allowance optional claimer. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $25,000. No scratches once again in this race. We'll have 9 runners, and Katie and I both like the number 2, Perfect Step.
Well, she's been running pretty perfect. You look at her record, she's going to look for back-to-back wins. Drew off by 3 lengths over much of the same competition last time out at the level and distance. That was on July 5th. And it was coming off a 2-month layoff, was her first start for trainer Ron Spatz. She can logically be expected to be better today. Yeah, and she circled the field last time out. She did it very impressively, and that's why I put it on the ticket and thought she was the one to beat in there. We both used the 8 Knox County Zip, a consistent daughter of City Zip, who was solid splitting horses last time out to finish third behind Perfect Step. The faster they go up front, I think it sets up for this Mike Trombetta trainee. So a suicide duel should have developed on the front end. Might set up for the number 8 Knox County Zip. Who else did you use? I used the 7 Artie Babe. This one really intrigued me. Last time out, returned from more than an 8-month layoff and broke his maiden by 3.5 lengths. I was pretty impressed. I wasn't expecting that effort from him at all. He's going to face winners for the first time, but I just thought that performance was hard to ignore off that layoff. Yeah, and this type of race here, like, we might have the logical 2 on top and everything like that. So the 7th race, you want to go deep, maybe you just use the 2 horses on your Rainbow 6 ticket. Let's go to race number 10 today. 1 mile claim is 3 and up, $6,250. 10 runners in the field, no scratches once again, so we're having a fun day. No scratches to report in a lot of these races in big fields. That's the key to Gulfstream Park in the summer. Beantown, the skipper from the Tamara Levy, John, on top of our ticket. I'd love him more if this race was at 7 furlongs. He's a 7 furlong specialist, but I think he's just the most consistent runner among this group. Aside from an unplaced effort in the slop on June 28th, he's hit the board in 4 straight starts. The horse I used in second is, I think it's 8-1 on the morning line or 12-1 on the morning line. The number 8 Thunder Run, I think fits really nicely in the mix after a steady 4-wide bid. Produced a 3rd place finish at this same level and distance. I think this is a horse that you can get a price on. The trainer owner is Carla Christopherson. Has Tyler Gaffleone in the saddle, going to carry 116 pounds. Got a rider that's just won the spring meeting title on this horse, 12-1. I think a horse you might want to use on your exacta trifecta ticket. I think you might also want to use the 1 Scorpion Time. He finished off the board last time out, but it was on the grass. Should be happy to get back on the main track. Also, Harry Hernandez, he did ride him last time out, but he will be riding him for the first time on dirt, and I really think he can give him a leg up here. Yeah, and I closed it out with Houston Bull, and you have the number of, 4 horse Burning Time. So let's go to our final race of the afternoon. 11 races today. Don't forget, we got the racing from, besides all this great racing with no scratches to report on most of the races, got racing from Saratoga today. So 11 races here. 7.5 furlongs on the turf our last race. Maiden claim is fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $20,000. 10 runners in the field. I want you to tell me about the 1 first, because then I'll tell you about the 5. And I'm excited to hear about that 5 because that is your best bet of the day, I believe. And a single of my Rainbow Six. And your single, taking a chance here in the final leg. So quickly, I'll go through the 1. I gave the edge to Hard to Picture from the Michael Petro barn. Going to get blinkers added and will perhaps show a bit more speed today. Came from off the pace last time out. Ran into some traffic trouble, had to steady at the top of the stretch. It's a small sample, but Michael Petro, 44% when adding blinkers. Yeah, I mean, a good horse in there, but I did go with the 5 Free Spirit, as we mentioned, my best bet of the afternoon, and singled it on the ticket, because I went deep in those other races we were talking about. Dropping to the $20,000 level, duel for the lead last time out, weakened to finish 4th, but that was against $35,000 maidens at this distance. I thought that was a pretty tough race for this horse. I love the connections of Dave Cass and Jesus Rios returning on this door of closing argument. I just kept going back, and this horse looked like strictly the one to beat in here when I was handicapping it. So every once in a while you got to take a shot. I don't know what the horse is on these
He's
9-2.
9-2. So that's the one I'm singling today.
And that's one that I might have missed. Didn't have it on my ticket, but again, another competitive race, and hopefully, Ron, you can pull everybody through in that last leg.
I hope so. We also used, the 7 Plano looks pretty good on there.
Yeah, she returned from more than a 3-month rationing to finish 4th, but only beaten a length in her first start for trainer Gustavo Delgado last time out. Showed some speed, but tired. Edgar Prado's going to ride today and should be fitter.
Yeah, I mean, it's by 5 does not, in my estimation, he's going to win. But I think you got some of the logical horses on the ticket. You can see how wide open our selections are. It's going to be a real fun day of racing today, and we have 11 races, as we mentioned. The Rainbow Six starts in race number 6, the Super High 5 with $10,000 in our last race. Any parting words before we head out today, Katie?
Oh, good luck, especially with all these full fields. It's going to be a great day of betting.